Hey, it's Mike Matthews, and I'm here to talk about the art of journaling. It's something that I'm extremely passionate about. I picked up this habit about 2.5, 3 years ago. I was fortunate enough to meet a very successful businessman on a golf course here in Dallas. I asked the guy to mentor me, so he brought me down for a tour at his Dallas facility and kind of shared with me some key lessons. Now, on his desk, I'm a person that like to observe my surroundings. He had this Harry Potter book sitting on his desk, and I'm like, what the hell is that? I thought he had some sort of, some secrets, some Illuminati secrets or something, but it was actually a journal. And he shared with me some of the things that he writes in it. Like every day, before he goes to sleep, he write down several things that he would like to accomplish the next day. And at the end of the day, he kind of match it up just to see if he accomplished those things. He challenged himself to mark off his list every single day. Now he writes his goals. It's a lot of stuff he writes in his journal, and he recommended that I go get one, right? So if you see someone doing better than you and they recommend something to you, what are you going to do? I know, as soon as I left there, that was my action item. I went down to Barnes & Noble and I purchased me a journal. And you might call me crazy, but I get the same journal every single year. I got 3 journals that look alike, right? So you may say, oh, they may look good standing next to each other, but I like the design, and you have to do what works best for you. The journal, they're at Barnes & Nobles, and I'm not getting paid to say this, by the way. I'm just letting you know that, so you don't have to buy it there. But the journal is like $38. Come to like $42, $43 with tax. And you may think, why the hell would you spend $40 for an empty journal? But I can tell you, if you look in my journals, these are the ones that are completed. I would challenge you to look through it without finding $80 worth of information, right? Because these journals are combined was $80-something, but there are way more than there's way more than $80 worth of information in those journals. And that's the way you got to look at it. A journal is an investment, right? And I'm not saying just because I have a leather journal that was made in Italy and all that, I'm not saying that means I have quality information in it. What I'm saying is invest in it. Get something that you could appreciate. That's what I like. I like the look, and it encourages me to carry it every day. Maybe if you have like a sticky yellow pad, you may not be as excited to carry it, But if you have one of these, it just feels different, So you gotta do what works for you. But I recommend that you get something of quality, a nice one that you would actually feel good about. So that's the first thing when it comes to journaling. So I've been doing this for a while, and I started a blog called journaldump.com, and with the intent to dump out the things that I write in these and turn them into blog posts to share it out with people who may be experiencing the same thing or may not learn some of the lessons that I picked up along the way. But it's just the fact of sharing, adding value to people's lives. The importance of journaling. There's several studies out there, you can find it all over, about the benefits that journaling can add to your life. Number 1, stress reduction. Emotional stability. Throughout the day, we experience various emotions. Like when I woke up, before I put on this bow tie, which was made by Jabril Rashid, jties.com. That's my quick shameless plug. But anyway, before I put on this bow tie, I wasn't excited. Like, I feel like I got a lot of energy today, but I didn't wake up like this. Contrary to popular belief. But we experience various emotions throughout the day. And when you're able to have an outlet of dumping those emotions down on a sheet of paper or in a journal, it helps you to stabilize those emotions. Because what happens if you don't have an outlet? Then you keep those emotions bottled in, and then you're looking for, something that your spouse do during the day so you can amplify it and dump those emotions. You end up dumping the emotions in the wrong place. In a situation with your spouse, at work, with your manager, your co-workers, your friends, whatever. you're going to dump it in the wrong place. So why not just let it out in a journal, you know, and deal with it there. But it's an emotional stabilizer, and also it helps you to declutter your brain. If you're a person like me, I'm always thinking. I wake up thinking, I go to sleep thinking. That's why I'm a night owl, because my brain can't shut up. I ride with my music off for the most part, and I'm thinking in the car. So I'm always thinking. So I have a lot of stuff just, you know, just going around my, you know, my head in the way that I'm able to kind of, you know, clean that stuff up is to dump it out on a journal. You know, journal helps you become more organized. A journal helps you become more expressive. A journal helps you with writing. You know, writing is a muscle. The more you write, the better you get at it. Journal helps you with a lot of things, man. It has, we'll be here all day talking about the benefits. It has psychological benefits, physical benefits. They says that, you know, the average people who journal their emotions, they tend to have lower high blood. I mean, they tend to have at least, I don't know, I keep messing that sentence up. But anyway, it helps with high blood pressure, right? So that's the deal with that. All right, so we want to talk about, where do you start, right? First of all, go buy the journal. And then next, you need to find a purpose for your journal. Like me, I don't really dump my emotions out in my journal. I'm a talker. I talk to myself. So that's my way of dumping my emotions. Like if something happens to me throughout the day, I wait till I get in my car. I wait till I get in my apartment. I speak it out, you know, I talk to myself. Call me crazy, whatever. It works. But find a purpose for your journal. Whether it's to organize your life, whether it's record your life, to record your observations, define a purpose. Whether it's to take your dreams and goals and map out a plan and to record the steps along the way and strategize, whatever. Find your purpose, right? And next is, okay, what do I write? That's a really great question. I believe everyone should start their journals off with a list of goals. I'm talking about write like 70 goals. And you don't even have to write complete sentences, because I don't even write complete sentences in my journal. It's mine. So what? You're not going to see it. And I not publish it anywhere. But write down like the places you want to see, the people you want to meet. You know, write down your vision for your ideal spouse. You know, write down, you know, the house that you want. Write down the lifestyle that you want your kids to have. Write down, you know, how you plan to change the world, the lives you plan to change. Write down that nonprofit you want to start. Write your goals down. You know, my goals change not completely change, but, you know, I add and subtract goals over here. But I wrote down 75 goals. 75 goals. And, you know, I'll just give you a few. You know, I want to go to Japan, China, Spain, Greece, Australia, Cape Town, South Africa, Thailand, Morocco. I want to complete and publish my first book. Develop journal, dump it to a mobile app, which I'm currently working on right now. Buy a condo downtown, either downtown Dallas, Miami, or LA. Build my consulting business to a 6 or 7 figure business. You know, do a keynote in front of 5, whatever. You get the point. Write down your goals, right? So next, after the goals, what you want to do is write down your vision for your future. You want to get real clear on that. Write down your perfect day. What does your perfect day look like? What does your perfect day look like? Because you got to know what you're going towards. That's what this vision board behind me is for. Every day I'm able to look at this and I know where I'm headed when I wake up. Okay, that's where I'm headed. What can I do today to get there? That can get me a step forward to get there. So you want to write that stuff down in your journal. You want to write down progress, a timeline. Every successful person has a story. Everyone has a story, honestly. There's a story that led up to you being here today in front of the computer to watch this video. You have a story. You know, when Apple got started, right? When Apple got started, Steve Jobs was introduced to Steve Wozniak, and they were able to bond together, and then they started making circuit boards, and then they decided to sell it, on a market and they sold it at wholesale or to a local bike shop, whatever, you're going to be asked, what is the story? What is your story? But a journal gives you able to jot down that timeline, and also serves as a way for you to start celebrating the small wins along the way. When you start the business, write it down, celebrate. When you, I don't know, get the camera to start taking better pictures, whatever. Start celebrating those small wins. You want to put those where? In your journal, right? Next, I call this soul sharpening, the soul sharpening part of your journal. You want to write down your strengths. What are you good at? What are some things that come, easy for you and hard as hell for everyone else? Everyone has that thing that you're like, Mike, I don't know how the hell you do that. Everyone has that thing. Everyone has a strength. So you want to get really clear on that. That way, everything you do, you're leaning more towards the things that you know you're good at, while in the background you're studying up on the things that you may not be as strong in. So you want to put that type of stuff in your journal. Next, opportunity areas. I don't really like to call it weaknesses, because when you see it as a weakness, it weakens you mentally, because you start feeling actually weaker than the weakness. So when you look at it as an opportunity area, I look at it as a gap. Okay, opportunity area is a gap between the person you are today and the person you have to be in order to accomplish those things that's behind me. I want to be a billionaire, guys. And it's not because of the money. I want to be able to accomplish maximum things. That way, that guy in the hood that may be in a gang, selling drugs, whatever, will have, if Mike can do it, I can do it. I want to be that source of inspiration, because I have a philanthropy spirit, but the world that we live in, they don't want to listen to you unless they feel like you have worldly success to point at. So I will get it just to say, hey, you can do it. I will risk my life to take the risk, start the business. That way I can stand in front of people that's on the hood and say, hey, if you know how to sell drugs, you can actually take that same skill set and start a business with it. Jay Morrison did it. He started a real estate company. He took the same logic and used it a different way. But anyway, it's the gap between the person you are today and the person you want to be. The way I am right now, I'm not the type of person that I need to be in order to be making $1 billion a year. I'm not that type of person yet. There are things that I have to learn. I have to be more consistent. I have to learn to be more persistent. I have to learn to, sharpen communication. There's things about myself that I need to close the gap on in order to make me that type of person, more to be able to attract that type of success to me. So write down your opportunity areas. Next is your boundaries. My father always told me that you can learn what you need to do, but what makes a true man, what makes a man, is the ability to really be really self-aware on the things that you will not do. That way, when these opportunities come to you, you won't take it if it's not aligned with what you really want to do. And if like one of my boundaries is, I will not settle. I will not be fearful. I will not make excuses. Just write it down. Write down your boundaries, things that you will not do. It's good to have a list of that. Observations. I believe we all go through things in life. Every single day there's something teaching you something. But guess what? A lot of people are not paying attention. That's why I really don't really pay attention to people. I don't really have sympathy when people say, oh, I'm waiting on an opportunity. No, you're not. Oh, I'm waiting on a sign. I'm waiting on God to show me the sign. To be honest, God showed you the sign yesterday. God showed you the sign the day before yesterday. You're probably not even paying attention. The average human being thinks about 18,000 thoughts a day. That includes your emotions. That includes the intake of your senses, the output from your senses. That includes like the feelings, all of that stuff bundled together. It's 18,000 of those a day that you experience, right? Yesterday, I want you to think about this for a second. How many of that did you write down? How many ideas that you had yesterday? Did you write any of that down? How many mood swings? Because emotional intelligence is all about the controlling of your emotions. If someone ticked you off yesterday, did you write down why they did it? Because that's good information. That's great information. If you meet someone who's not successful and you hear them talk and the type of things they say, that's good information. That's good information to know what not to say, what not to believe. And that type of stuff you write what? In your journal. Be a good observer. And when you observe, it's not enough to soak it in. You got to record it. You got to write it down. Alright, so I write down advice. Every day on YouTube, I'm scraping for information. You know, how to start a business, how to better yourself, how to become a better you, what habits to do, what books to read, what habits to absorb, what to do. So I'm writing that stuff down in my what? In my journal. Alright, and also key lessons that I learned. So here's another question someone had for me. How often should I write? Now, the journal does not have to be a formal thing. I know people want to tell you, set aside 2 hours a day, you know, write it down, writing it. It depends on your purpose. If you're writing it because you want to be this award-winning writer, then yeah, you do need to write every day. But I don't use my journals for that. My journals is for me to sharpen myself. It's like a tool for me to record experiences and gel it with key lessons learned to sharpen myself. That's what I use my journal for. So do I really need to set aside a block time to write every day? No. I treat my journal like a job. I mean not like a job. I treat my journal like a hobby. Jobs you do because you have to. Hobbies you do because you want to. So you have to want to write in your journal. And this is why I buy more, you know, costlier journals, because if you pay $40 for a journal, you're not going to just let it sit around. You're not going to let it sit around. Like my younger brother, I purchased him one of these journals for Christmas. He didn't write anything. You know why? Because he got it for free. But if he went to the store himself and paid $40, he would write in it. It will make you write in it, you know. But the idea is that you determine your frequency. Whether you write every day, once a week, once a month, whatever, ease yourself into it. Don't just jump all the way in, because once you start breaking the cycle, then you start to get discouraged. All of a sudden, you stop writing. So I carry my journal with me every day. I got a book bag that I carry my laptop, my journal, paperwork, and all that stuff with me every single day, just in case I feel the need to want to work, to go to the park or Starbucks. So carry a journal every day. At the lowest, I think you should be at least writing once a week. I think, you know, you can't go 7 days without experiencing something that's worth writing down. Whether it's a thought, an experience, a feeling, anything, a perspective, you can't go 7 days without it. I promise you. If you are observing life the way you should. You should have something to write down. So clear the clutter in your life. Use it to become more organized. Use it as an emotional stabilizer. Determine your frequency. Only you know your frequency. You can Google how often should I write and all that all you want, but only you get what you put in. So it's whatever you want it to be. You know, my journals have been working for me because like I said, I use them to sharpen myself. So whenever I find a situation in which I can learn something that can make me a better person, that can close my gap and make me more eligible to accomplish the things I want to accomplish, I write it down. So I hope this video was very helpful to you guys. Oh, here's another thing I want to cover. So I think someone asked me on Periscope, why do you write on paper versus typing it on a computer? I believe there's a different feeling that you feel when you actually write, like with your hand. You know, it's the same thing with a love letter, right? You know, people always appreciate it more when it's handwritten, you know, versus typed. Like even signatures, right? Like every time I see a signature that's typed, I mean, it really doesn't really do much for me. But when I see someone that autographs a book with their hand, or someone that's writing something down, it just gives you a deeper appreciation for it. When you see your goals handwritten by you, you actually took the time to write it out. It doesn't matter how your handwriting look, right? You're not selling this book on eBay, okay? It's for you to see. So write your goals down. Write down things that can help you sharpen, become a better you. Determine your own frequency. Determine, you know, just make the thing work for you. Carry it with you. Become a better observer. Constantly seeking knowledge and advice. Dumping in your journal. Constantly reflect. Now, once a month, you can reflect on how your last month went. What are some things you can change? Are you doing all you can do? What are the opportunities you missed? Whatever. So start to reflect. My motto is live, learn, share. And that's the deal. Live life, learn from life, record it in your journal, and share it with the world. Things that you believe that can add value to other people. So I hope this thing was helpful for you. If you have any questions, feel free to post it below. Or reach out to me direct mail, you know, slide in my DM. I was just kidding. But if you have any questions, post it below. And hopefully this was helpful for you. I woke up really, really early in the morning and got dressed so I could film this video. So this was for Natalie. She asked me the question on Facebook. So hopefully this answers your question, Natalie. Have a good one.